Are you ready for the job interview to find the perfect candidate for the graphic design position? Let's see question number 1.
Hi, Vanessa. Thank you for coming in today. Why don't you start by telling me a little bit about yourself? Hi, Vanessa. Thank you for coming in today. Why don't you start by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Certainly. First of all, I've always been labeled as artistic, so it just made sense to study graphic design in college. Then when I graduated, I moved to Chicago and worked for a fast-paced design team, making marketing brochures for a big insurance company. It was great, but now that I have the experience, I would love to work with a more local business where I can have more contact with the clients. Tip: keep it brief and professional. They don't need to know that you go kayaking every weekend and that you visited 30 countries. But as they say, you never have a second chance to make a first impression. So make sure you sit up straight, smile, be pleasant, and make them think, I would be crazy not to hire you. Let's go to question number 2.
I see. So why are you interested in this job? I see. So why are you interested in this job?
I want this job because I'm passionate about graphic design. I see myself working in this field long term because it involves hard work, creativity, and innovation. And from my research, it seems like your company also has these same values. I'm excited to work for a company that shares the same values I do. Tip: this answer shows your long-term commitment to the job and to the company. Also, it shows that you did some research about the company in advance. This will put you a notch ahead of other candidates, so make sure to do your research in advance. All right, let's go to question number 3.
That's great. How did you hear about this position? That's great. How did you hear about this position?
I read about your company and I've been interested in working here for several months. I hoped that a graphic design position would open up, so I created an alert on LinkedIn to let me know if that happened, and I got an alert and here I am. Tip: this answer shows that you were proactive about finding a job, especially a job in this company. It shows that you care about them and it makes them feel good about themselves as well, which hopefully is all true. All right, let's go to the next question.
So tell me, what are your biggest strengths? So tell me, what are your biggest strengths?
Some of my biggest strengths are my creativity and my ability to learn quickly. I'm also good at working with clients and I'm a good listener, so this means that I listen to exactly what my clients want and I make sure that the final designs reflect the heart of their business. Finally, I'm very punctual, so I always can meet the project deadlines. Tip: be confident, but don't brag. In this situation, it is absolutely necessary to say what you're good at. What are your strengths? Do not downplay your strengths. Also notice that in this answer, I gave some adjectives. I'm creative, I am a good listener, but I also said why they're important. This means that you can always add this phrase in your answers to give a good example. This means that I will listen to your clients and I will have designs that reflect the heart of their business. Why are those traits important? They're just words? Well, you're going to show concretely how they will affect the company. Don't forget to include that phrase. This means that your clients will always be satisfied because my designs will reflect the heart of their business. Beautiful answer. All right, let's go to the next question.
Okay, what are your biggest weaknesses? Okay, what are your biggest weaknesses?
My biggest weakness is that in my former role, I had a more specialized skill set, and I understand that for this job, I will need a more generalized skill set. So I look forward to learning quickly and figuring out what all of those tasks are so that I can do my best. Tip: this is the most difficult question in an interview, in my opinion, so you need to be very careful and prepared about how you're going to answer this. You could say, well, sometimes I'm late. Or, well, sometimes I just forget about what I'm supposed to do. And you will not get the job. Instead, you need to choose a weakness that you can frame in a positive way. So notice in my answer, I said, well, in my previous job, I had a specialized skill set And then I showed growth. I showed an understanding of how I can get better. I understand for this job, I will need a more generalized skill set, and I'm excited about learning new things. So this shows you understand how to get better. Let's take a look at a couple of other examples because I think this is a tricky one. If you say that you are shy talking in front of large groups, how could you frame this in a more positive way? You could say, I'm not yet comfortable speaking in front of large groups, but to help myself with these public speaking skills, I'm going to weekly Toastmaster meetups. I have a weekly speaking coach that I meet with to help me with this skill. You're showing growth and you're showing how you understand that you can get better in the future. So make sure you answer this with that growth mindset. Yes, I have this weakness, but I am working on making it better. Key. All right, let's go to the next question.
Thank you. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Thank you. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself continuing in the graphic design field, but with greater responsibility, like taking on a leadership role of training junior level designers who join the staff. Tip. When you answer this question, you need to show your commitment to the company. Even if you are not 100% sure that you will still be in this position and still working for this company, this is your chance to fake it till you make it and say that you are interested in staying in this position and potentially benefiting the company with your increased experience. So in my answer, I said that I'm interested in leadership and I would be interested in helping junior level designers come into the staff and be well trained. This might be something different for you, but make sure you do not say, in 5 years, I'm interested in becoming the manager. Well, maybe that guy's the manager. You don't want to take his job, and you don't want to say something completely irrelevant. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, I've been thinking about taking a world tour. I'd love to visit Japan and Poland and Brazil. They're not interested in your personal goals. Instead, you need to talk about your professional goals in 5 years, ideally with that company in a position that will benefit the company. All right, let's go to the next question.
Okay, what experience do you have in this role? Okay, what experience do you have in this role?
I mentioned that when I lived in Chicago, I worked for a fast-paced design company making marketing brochures for a big insurance company. So I'm experienced making high-level design pieces on a tight deadline. I also interned for a small company right after college, making their website and setting up several graphic design elements for their social media channels. Tip: for this question, have specific details in mind. Notice how I said I worked for a fast-paced design company, we had a tight deadline, I also interned. I gave specific examples of my experience. I didn't say, well, I've been doing graphic design for a while and yeah, I have a lot of experience. You will not get the job if you say this. You need specific examples in mind, and that will help you to ace the interview. Let's go to the next question.
Tell me, why did you leave your most recent job? Tell me, why did you leave your most recent job?
I'm looking for a fresh opportunity that's more client-based. One of the advantages of working in Chicago is that I got to work alongside other graphic design professionals, but I didn't get to work directly with clients, and that's the part that's the most rewarding to me. I enjoy helping local businesses transform their vision into a graphic design that truly represents their brand. Tip: this is another tricky question because they're looking to see if you will say something negative about your past job, your past coworkers, your past boss. This can really make it or break it for you in the interview. So make sure that you say something that states a skill that you learned in your past job and how it can be applied to your current job. I especially use the phrase, "that's really rewarding to me." That means that I am personally fulfilled, and a company wants you to be, well, a good company wants you to be personally fulfilled because you will stay in that job and do a good job and have good rapport with your coworkers when you are rewarded, when you feel like this is a satisfying job. So when you say, hey, I see working in this company as something very rewarding to me because I love working with clients. That's what I missed in my previous job. So I'm excited to work with clients. Notice I didn't say anything bad about my boss. Oh, my boss, you should have heard about him. Oh my goodness. Nope, there's no bashing. There's no negative talk about my past job. Just a skill or part of the job that I would like to do differently in this company. Great, let's go to the next question.
So, why should we hire you? So, why should we hire you?
You should hire me because I can take on a lot of responsibility without much supervision. I'm also innovative. I can come up with creative, fun ways to meet your clients' needs while upholding the positive reputation of this company. Tip: for this question, for each thing that you state, you need to give a why. Why is that important? I'm a fast learner. Well, who cares? I can do it without much supervision. That is the why. Most managers do not want to be over your shoulder asking you, why didn't you do the deadline? Come on, it's coming soon. What do you? No, they want to be able to step back and just let you do what you need to do. So you're telling them, don't worry, I got it. You won't need to supervise me much because I can take responsibility and it'll be great. For the next thing, I said I'm innovative. Well, why does innovation matter? Why do you care that I'm innovative? I need to give a reason. And I said, your clients will be satisfied with my creative, fun designs that will uphold the company's reputation. I'm not just thinking about myself. I don't want them to say, oh, you're just the best designer, you're so great. No, I want the reputation of the company to be the thing that stands out here. So the key is, for each of your answers you need to give, that means that you won't need to manage me much because I can take responsibility. That means that your clients will be satisfied and the reputation of this company will be upheld. You need to give a why for each of these answers. All right, let's go to our final question.
Thank you so much for your time.